looking for him. Yourself and probably maybe 10 or so other people, give or take, went to the campaign office on King Drive looking for him. What was the purpose of you taking those brothers to Chris Larson's office to try and find him? What was the point?
Well, I want to give a shout out to Brother King Rick and all the brothers that are part of the digital edition, which is, more so call to arms that could be text, could be online, or whatever it is.
So what is the digital militia? Let's start with
It's
that.
just took a life of his own. It's actually connected to the Twitter Army, which, Mr. Farrakhan at 82 is a trendsetter all day, every day. And, he has a Twitter Army, and that's a group of individuals. He has an actual individual who follows him every day, young guy out of Houston, who's the commander of the Twitter Army. And they go to war because it's a whole other world outside, apparently, this physical world.
So using social media to communicate what's going on
that's very
everywhere,
effective.
on the street, in politics. Okay.
Yes. So we don't even have to have the Journal Sentinel if we don't want to put our news out. We put our own news out, just like NOV has always done. So we're doing it ourselves with Black Coffee Radio. So you can find information. This interview that we're doing today, you're going to find snippets of it on blackcoffeeradio.co. But anyway, the purpose of any attack on our community is to counterattack.
Right.
And so Chris Larson has been attacking our community for so long. He's the most dangerous man in Milwaukee. I'm going to say that. And I respect what they're doing as far as they're organized. They did a stealth organization, came up, all of a sudden 200 people on the street, $15 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to beat that? With all the poverty in our community, you can pick who you want.
The Larson campaign, paying all those canvassers countywide. Right?
And then they're picking our young leadership, and then they also the disrespect. I'm saying, so then you start feeling yourself. I'm gonna go on King Drive, and I'm gonna say this movement took place 2006 when they tried to recall me 2007. I go on the street that I was raised on in Palmer and Center, and there's all white folks walking down the street saying, "What you doing here?" See, that's what I'm saying. The nerve of them, as segregated as this city is, to say we're gonna come in and take Brewers Hill, we're gonna come take everything up to North Avenue, and that's really the genesis of all the gentrification. It's like, look, we comfortable now, so I'm gonna go on King and Garfield, don't have to hire black staff and disrespect whoever I want to because there's no resistance. So to disrespect our women is a real problem. In my family, you can't disrespect a woman. Man, you should see the punishment that brothers have had in my family, just personally, for fighting their wives, man, please, it's serious repercussions. So the repercussions that Chris Larson has is not about we're going to be violent and we're going to be after them, but we're not going to let you disrespect our women. So Lena Taylor is a microcosm of what happens when you disrespect black women. And we're not just saying we're going to go after white folks, we're going to go after everybody, because there's some brothers out here who need to be stepped to as well.
So the digital militia goes to Chris Larson's campaign office on Friday, looking for him, demanding an apology for the disrespect that he has shown State Senator Lena Taylor. When you all arrived at that office, tell the folks what happened.
So when we arrived, it was, some young brothers there, young white guys. And
about how many staff were working?
They had about 6 staff members.
Okay.
And then the main staff member, he came walking up and trying to figure out what's going on. And we just say we want an apology. We look for Chris Larson. We want to know what his schedule is. 'Cause he was having a public event, so we came to the event, but he wasn't there. It was the living wage event, he called it. And so we came.
So you went to that location, living wage
on the
event.
invite. He invited everybody on the digital side.
Okay.
And so we came, he didn't show up. So then the next day, brothers came forth again. Remnants of the Black Panther Party. You're going to hear more about the Black Panther Party, I guess, pretty soon. Not saying that it's going to be me, because the commander, McGee, has disbanded the militia, and our uniforms is our skin. So I'm not going to be walking around in no damn uniform. And the thing is I'm trying to bring a whole different vibration to the community. It's all about building the community up. So we're not going to be doing any of this broke revolutionary talk. We're going to be bringing some economic opportunity to the community as well. And I'm going to come to your show about that. Because you talked about economics last week, but it's some things we need to do as co-ops, as a community that owns things together to move our community forward in the political and the economy. So the political economy of our community needs to increase.
So you go to his office, he's not there. What did the staff tell you? They tell you when he's coming back?
We can't tell you when he's coming back. There's all,
Were they nervous?
Classified information. You definitely had some nerves going. The guy was coming to be scaring me. But, just our presence is scaring you because you don't have any black staff. You don't have any relationship with black folks.
That's they've got an office on King Drive, but they were startled when African Americans showed up to see Chris Larson at his office on King Drive. So he wasn't there. You all left. That was on Friday, but then
And that was Saturday. And
that
then
was
the
Saturday.
next day,
Sunday, you guys
we
did
had another
find it.
event.
Okay, you guys went to that event.
Another public event in our community, which is Lincoln, the Lincoln Park, and he's calling that the North Shore. It's
All right.
the North Shore meeting.
Let's pause there. I'm gonna grab a telephone, so I want to come back
Right.
and talk about what happened when you all did confront Chris Larson at that public event on Sunday. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. How are you? Go ahead.
How you beautiful black people doing?
Doing all right.
Ugly ones too. I don't want nobody being left out. That young man you got there sitting there, man, who is he to be pushing people and getting this stuff started and having us thinking, slapping us awake, man? Man, he can't go around slapping people, waking us up out of our sleep, man. We zombies walking around here, man. Stop that before something happens.
Yes, sir.
Let's go sit your butt down, man. put all this stuff, man. People don't need their covered pull back showing what's happening, man. Let us stay sleeping, ignorant and stupid, man. Who you think you is, man? Go sit down.
My man. Bless you.
I guess that was his whole complete thoughts. Now, so like, you're doing too much, making too much progress. On Sunday, the digital militia goes to a community event. He was at Lincoln Park, you said?
It was at Lincoln Park, but I didn't go, and that's one thing I want to say too.
You weren't there, but other
I
folks
was
were.
glad that it didn't have to be me. Do it always has to be me that goes? Brothers, do something on your own. I shouldn't have to be in prison for 7 years, come back, and nobody making a stand. And I ain't saying nobody doing it, but there's plenty of people doing great work out there. But when it comes to pushing it to the edge, we need more people to have a sense of urgency. And that's why I mess with Lena, because she has a sense of urgency.
And I'm assuming you saw the video of what took place at that community event where Chris Larson was, the town hall he was hosting at Lincoln Park. So for the folks that have not seen that video, tell them what happened. He was confronted by a member of the digital militia, and what happened?
Yeah, I think his brother King Rick, and he's going to start. He's the general of the Black Panther Party, apparently, according to his recent posts. Is that he's going to start the Panther Party, and that's a whole other conversation we need to have. But the brothers came out, they stood there, took posts, made a presence felt, and said, look, they disrupted it. That's all they did. Say, hey, we want to apologize. We want to know one thing: you don't apologize to Lena Taylor. And
what did Larson say? Did he give you an offer an apology?
He just kept, avoiding, and then his son ran up and he grabbed his son for cover. And so then, the guy was not going to hit him, but he was holding his son in nervousness as if to shield himself if something happened. And so that's just the fear of a black planet when they see us. And so the brother's like, no, all of us not stupid. All of us not drunk or drugs or medication. He brought the medication piece because a lot of us are saying, well, why are you going after Chris Larson? They don't understand the disrespect that he gave Lena, and there's a disrespect to our community.
Right, because he said to her, are you on your head?
How you going to be the county executive and they are in charge of the mental health facilities, and you say something that insensitive and it's public? So that really disrupted and upset a lot of the white folks too that was in Madison when he said that. So you disqualify yourself when you talk like that, period. And that's really where I'm at with it. And so a lot of times they get the arrogance and the think that we're not going to do anything, that we're just going to sit back and think everything's cool because you have a few black folks that you put in office and we're supposed to be satisfied with that.
So Larson was confronted at this town hall meeting. He was asked to give an apology for his disrespect to State Senator Lena Taylor. He did not offer an apology, but there's an upcoming meeting. Is that correct?
Apparently, he was saying you're going to meet this week. You're going to meet. He's just saying you're going to meet this week.
Who's meeting?
I don't know. From what I'm hearing, it's going to be Congresswoman Moore is going to step in and bring Larson and possibly Lena together. But it's all about faking it for the community so that I can get your vote and try to get this squashed, because everywhere he goes, apparently, I can't stop it, but these brothers are going to probably be at every event he goes in the city of Milwaukee.
Demanding this apology for his disrespect.
He's going to be like Trump. He's not going to be able to do anything in this community until he straightens himself up.
Wow. All right, we're going to take a break. We are talking to former Milwaukee Alderman Mike McGee and all of the wonderful things that he has going on. When we come back, I want to talk about early voting and how important this is. This is going to be a very big turnout election. Early vote was actually high turnout February 16th, but this is going to be even higher. And if people have issues or questions about their ID, if you go and vote early, if there is a problem with your ID, you do still have time to get your ID situation corrected so you can be able to vote on April 5th. WNOV 860 AM, the voice, from listening to the forum. Keep it locked. We'll be right back.